Hello and welcome back to another patch reading for Final Fantasy XIV, this time for 5.4. These are the preliminary notes, which pretty much means that we're going to get all of the major information for the patch, but pretty much some of the other bits will be omitted, such as extra details, recipes, that sort of stuff. So it's basically everything that we need to know, and this came out today, the 4th of December, which is like 4 days ahead of the patch, which is quite hilarious, really. It's nice to have things in advance, but I didn't expect it. So let's look through these then. We'll try and skim through them as best as possible, but obviously this is going to be probably a long video because of how big this scroll bar is. So it says, additional features will be implemented in future updates, such as the Ishgard restoration in 5.41. We've got Blue Mage, Save the Queen Blades of Gunhilda, the new resistance weapon upgrade, and Skysteel tools in 5.45. So you can cross Blue Mage off and all of this stuff, if you were planning to do that on the 8th. Interesting. But what is in 5.4 is the main storyline, and that's where we continue on. We have these two images. You've probably seen them before with Alphino and Alice. We've got the return to Ishgard, by the looks of it, of Amalric and Lucille and one of the Vundu. It picks up, actually, the new quest in the Rising Stones. It says players must first have completed the main scenario Reflections in Crystal, which is the 5.3 storyline, to continue with this in a Rising Stones with Kryl. So that's where everybody will be going for the MSQ on day one. As we scroll down, you'll see there's lots of MSQ quests, by the way. Sorrow of Whirlite is obviously the Emerald weapon, which will be a trial on both normal and extreme. There'll be more information for that, but basically you go to the locks once again in the Stormblood zone, and the Resistance officer to actually continue. Obviously, you would have needed to have completed the solo instance and storyline of Sapphire weapon. Then we have Eden, which is actually, you can unlock Eden's Promise normal in Amareng from Yalfut, and there's the coordinates. You must have first completed Reflections in Crystal, which is 5.3 story, and the Worlds Apart Chronicles of New Era quest. Obviously, these unlock the different wings. We have a little bit about Your Hard Dark Apocalypse as a little quest to sort of connect this to the next one, probably full of speculation as to what the next instance will be as part of the Nier raid. I'm looking forward to that. New role quests have been added. This is a big one. So it says Shadow Walk With Me as one of the quests to complete, which is a role quest, and Reflections in Crystal. This apparently will also have something to do with a warring triad. So, interesting. There's new role quests. You might want to do them. New side stories have been added. This is for the hero's journey. These are void quests, apparently. I'm not really sure what void quests are. It says players must first complete the role quest. So these are role quests that you must complete first. Interesting. The hero's journey. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe this is a quest by the looks of it for doing more. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. New chapters in New Game Plus, including role quests and void quests, whatever those are. Shadowbringers Part 3 has finally been added to that. The tank quests, DPS quests, as you can see, and healer quests, so you can go and do those. The category Save the Queen Blades of Gunhilda has been added to the duty tab of the Unending Journey under other duties, so we can actually queue for that in the future. Shifting Oubliettes of Ligai, this is a spinny wheel treasure map dungeon that's been added. Basically, a portal appears when you open a treasure coffer using the Sinurskin treasure maps, so it is the same treasure maps, so don't bin those. You might want to save them up and sell them on patch day. It will either lead to the Dungeons of Ligai or the Shifting Oubliettes, so you've got RNG of getting a portal, and then RNG of it being the old portal or the new portal. And 505 item level sync, 8 players, 60 minutes. That's to be expected, really. 505 is quite generous, isn't it? To be perfectly honest with you. Treasure chests appear, the Atomos kick you out, you fight bosses. There you go. Easy peasy if you've never done that before. Grand and Free Companies then. This is amazing. This is a gingerbread lookalike house, or Austrian styled house. This is a new thing you can build in a company workshop. It looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? It's almost got like this snow covered roof. Not sure of the viable options of this. During the live letter, they mentioned how this was reaching the limits of their memory allocation for housing item, like a housing design, which is very cool. It's got a little sign outside and a door. I don't know what you would class this as. Subaquatic voyages, new areas, new items, and max submersible rank goes up to 80 from 75. So that means there'll probably be a new minion to get, like we speculated in another video. Lots of new stuff to build. For housing, it says the auto-demolition timer does resume for 5.4, so you might be on the lookout for new houses for people who get them demolished for not being active. That will be activated again. And we've got furnishings from the 2017 and 19 furnishing design contest being added finally. And more contest entries have been added to serve as new furnishings. So we've got flower basket arranged thingies on a desk. We've got the bakery set up here, which we saw in that promotional image the other day. We've got a banner here, nice ribbon thingy, like plant pot thing, very nice. We've got a chandelier that's sort of like mossy. And then new furnishings include these weapon stands. Apparently some of these display stands are like naturally look like this, but it's also empty ones where you can store your own weapons and armor. I can't wait for that. Also, this amazingly imposing lion here. This rug, which looks familiar. I don't know if we've got that already. The Gobu planter thing on the table is amazing, though. And this, the Astral and Umbral thing that Urian J had, that looks amazing. I like that. And there's the vine thingy with the plants growing up it. Yeah, very cool. And there you go. There's actually outdoor ones as well if you want display cases outdoors. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you can do. New orchestrion roles, obviously, for the new music. The descriptions of orchestrion roles have been adjusted to prevent spoilers, thank goodness. New aquarium fishies, new seeds for flower pots that you can get from material supplier vendors, and new Gridania from Tanny, the flower vendor. Triple Triad gets pretty much an overhaul. The restriction on the number of 1 to 3 star cards in a deck has been removed, regardless of the number of cards you have registered. This does not affect 4 and 5 star cards. Time restrictions have gone from 30 seconds to 90 seconds for the entirety of a match. Very interesting. Draft has been added. This is basically you create a deck from random cards that you're given as part of this rule. Provided by the Gold Saucer, yeah. Building a deck, this is the new UI for that. This is very interesting. So there's your usual recommended button, but you can create your own decks. This is a whole new UI overhaul. New tournaments have been added. You can actually make your own tournaments as well as participate in these open tournaments or whatever they're called. Open tournaments, yeah. So the likelihood is that you will use, the cards that are provided to you. Interesting. It says no MGP for admission. These tournaments consist of 3 matches, making for a quick and easy way to enjoy Triple Triad. And then you can see, like, how they're doing that. Participation. I'll let you read that if you really want to go into it. The layout of things has been adjusted. Tables no longer appear between players during Triple Triad matches in public areas. New cards, new NPCs, opponents, etc. Dome and Mahjong gets quick matches added to it. Don't ask me about any of this, okay? I have not a clue when it comes to Mahjong. So there's an option to adjust a display of Dora indicator has been added. So if that's something that makes sense to you, that's a thing. To better distinguish between Nor-10 and Tenpai in the event of a draw, they will now be displayed in different colors. Yes. Yes, that makes sense. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the trust system. When opening the trust window, the newest available dungeon will be selected by default. Closing and reopening the trust window without logging out will display the last dungeon you selected. When switching between the scenario and avatar mode, your selected dungeon will remain unchanged, and the size of character icons has been adjusted, allowing all characters to be displayed at once. Very cool. Prizes available in exchange for close gold certificates and silver and bronze have been adjusted. Of course, there are new things from the faux hollows, right? So you'll be able to get new stuff, probably new necklaces or pieces of glamour from getting your 2 lines. Faux hollows is now changed. It's no longer Shiva Unreal. It's now Titan Unreal. Shiva has been removed. So different Unreal trials will be available in each major patch. They've increased the amount of faux leaves you get from uncovering illustrations. So that's pretty good. So if you do get a box, it won't be worth nothing anymore. You'll probably get a few more. The number of foe leaves received when uncovering an illustration of a foe commander will not change. So you still get 100 for him. See, look, we've got Dual Blades is now 15. Gift box is 25 from 10, and coffer is 35. That's going to make things a little bit easier each week to farm for. I've only just got all my rewards myself, so just on the cusp of new patch content. It says new items are available in exchange for foe leaves, and the completion status of Unreal Trials will now be saved, which means when you're creating a party, you can actually choose if people can join if they've completed it or not. Players will now be notified that they will lose access to foe hollows when entering an instance duty before completing the minigame. So you must obviously do it before you re-enter with the swords or whatever. To improve visibility of the foe hollows board, for timing in which the result screen appears has been adjusted. We also get violin, viola, cello, and double bass for double bass. I'm imagining two fish now. Double bass for our performance mode for bards, if that's something that ticks your box. It looks very cool. I'm not sure I'll use it much. New challenge log stuff. It says, come on in. It's open. Participate in an open tournament for 3,000 MGP. They're trying to get you to do that. New emotes. We've got the splash emotes that we saw on the special site. This is a really cool one. I moaned about this in the previous video, how I couldn't replicate the male put hand on side of hip emote. But it seems everyone is getting new idle stances. So whether this means we'll be able to share all of these and just cycle through them. Because personally, I want the male put hands on hips emote, like idle animation for females, because there's several female NPCs in the game that already do this. So that would be nice. That's a really big one for me. Battle system, we've got Matoya's Relic, which is a new dungeon, 470 and above average item level. 4 players, obviously. You need to have completed parts of the MSQ, but they're not going to tell you what yet. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the MSQ, isn't it? Item level sync has been added to Hero's Gauntlet and Amnesis and Nida to 500. Castrum Marinum is the name of Emerald weapon. Basically, that's unlocked via that quest in the locks. That looks to be fun. I think the basic one is 485 to get in there, and the extreme is 500 or above. Very interesting. But then we're getting new tombstone gear and stuff, so 500, I mean, that's a lot actually, isn't it? I'm only just 500 myself. Item exchange, you can exchange stuff. What's this? Oh, this is Unreal. Okay, cool. Awesome source. You can unlock this through, obviously, Idleshire. Here we go. The drop rate for the Ruby Guaiba Dragon Trumpet in Cinderdrift has been increased. Very cool. You can also exchange 99 Ruby Totems. Do get it if you have those already. So a certain person in our static no longer needs to do Ruby Weapon by the looks of it, because he's got hundreds of these totems. Perfect. Eden's Promise has obviously been added. 485 for the normal to get in there. Yeah, you've got your Tuesday eligibility. You've got your tokens that you exchange for items. Savage is also added. The requirements to do this, by the way, are only to have completed 5.3 storyline. You can go straight to Amarang and pick up Eden's Promise, blast through the normal, and then do the Savage straight away. You don't need to do the MSQ for 5.4, which is a big change a lot of people are happy about, as you would imagine. So that's good. Puppet's Bunker. Weekly restrictions have been removed on the coins and the rewards. So that's going to make that farmable for people. That's very cool. That'll close the gap for a lot of people and make it so that I can go in there and farm for my minion and other things that I still need. Raid Finder gets Castrum Marinum Extreme Unreal Titan. Oh, here you go. Eden's Promise Umbra Litany Anamorphosis and Eternity. Ooh, it's called Eternity. If that's not Ultimisia, I don't know what will be. Duty Finder now gets all of the Eden's Verse stuff, obviously in Seat of Sacrifice. Players will now receive Echo in the Seat of Sacrifice. That's good. Up to a maximum of 25%. That'll make Seat of Sacrifice even easier to farm. Cannot wait for that on my Sunday farm sessions. Allegan Tomestones, obviously Revelation have been added. They make, you can only obtain 450 per week, carry a maximum of 2,000. They're changing the place of Allegoria. Allegoria turned into Phantasmagoria. No, Phantasmagoria are turning into Allegory. Yes. So Phantasmagoria turn into Allegory. You've got 2,000 of those. You can exchange them at a dude. You won't be able to earn Phantasmagoria anymore. Yes, this is the typical thing. Goesha have been completely removed from the game as well. Expert Roulette now has Matoya's Relic and the Hero's Gauntlet instead of Amnesis and Nida. That gets dropped. Expert Roulette has 470 item level. 80 Dungeons has 440 and has Amnesis and Nida in it instead. Castrum Marinum and Trial. You get the idea, right? The usual thing that happens. Tomestones, again, to reflect the changes and the additions of the new places. Stone Sky Seas, if you want to practice on the new things of Savage and Eden's Promise, you can totally go and do that. And Castrum Marinum. Gangos. A Lost Finds cache has been added to Gangos. Players can now confirm their metal and resistance rank by speaking to Sieros in Gangos. Resistance Appraiser can now be found in Gangos, and Resistance Locksmith, so you don't have to go into Bosjar to open your lockboxes. That's good. That's something that should be there in the first place. The Lost Action Mimic can now target all players when undertaking duties in the Bosnian Southern Front. Field Notes Exchange has been... Oh, right, so we can... Yeah, okay, cool. That's so that we can look at the field notes. You can exchange field notes for Bosnian coins. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So if you get extra field notes from doing your fates or whatever, you can get coins for them. Bosnia effect on Bosnia gear has been renamed Save the Queen Area effect. I mean, it's just a tooltip change. Sacrifice Large has been adjusted. Cannot be executed if currently afflicted with Sacrifice instead of Doom. Okay. The effect of Sacrifice is the same as Doom, incapacitating the user when the timer reaches 0. Lordy. Right, so then this looks to be, so this is the Tome gear. Very nice. This then, since it says new recipes have been added, let's zoom in just a little bit, because we can't get a very good image on this. I do apologize. This is the new crafted gear. Okay, so we've looked at the dungeon gear and stuff. This is crafted. So we're getting these beautiful crafted weapons, which, I don't know, probably 505 item level, something like that, at a guess. Or 500 item level. Very nice, actually. Some of these are really beautiful. Can't wait to see what these look like dyed. That definitely is my favorite on the end there. Very, very nice. Sorry for zooming in so much. Following items can now be equipped regardless of gender. High House Bustle, Rainbow Bustle, Expedition's Coat, Kex, Tabard, Pantalet's Coat of Dalmal Skin, Rami Kex, Rami Tabard, and Rami Pantalets. This is stuff we like to see. Gender is no longer a problem, and they're slowly making it so that it's not a problem in the game. It's awesome. The appearance of the following gear when worn with certain leg gear has been adjusted. Certain leg that was previously hidden can now be seen. Sailor shirt, Tackle Keeps vest, augmented Tackle Keeps, Valerian Fusiliers Gambison, the Ruby Cotton Gambison, the Moonfire Halter, Werewolf Body, and Spring Shirt. Interesting. Huh. So, might be worth checking those pieces of gear out to see what exactly that entails. Very nice. We've got some changes. Instead of having Rowan's token, it just says Blue Crafter Script token. This is nice, simplified, ease of use sort of way of dealing with things. Certain items can now be sold, desimped, etc. They've changed this all the time. Rings that could be purchased in exchange for Allegan Tomestones of Poetics, Allied Seals, and Centurio Seals are no longer classified as unique. Very interesting. Augmented gear upgraded from those originally purchased with tomestones will no longer require upgrade materials. Augmented gear can instead be purchased directly in exchange for their base gear and 100 Allegan Poetics. In accordance with this change, upgrade materials will no longer be designated as required items in their associated exchanges. The appearance of gathering points and teeming waters on the minimap have been adjusted to indicate elevation. This is something that should have been in a long time ago. It's a fantastic quality of life change. Category for items traded via the Splendors exchange has been added to gathering log. For collectibles 1 and 2, when fishing, warning messages will now be displayed before fish are fully aware of your presence. The fish here have grown wise of your presence. You might have better luck in a new location. Yes, that's slightly less cryptic, isn't it? Fishing log. The requirement for catching certain fish with special conditions have been added to the fishing log. But the conditions have not changed. Information for swimming shadows has been added to the fishing log. Fishing spots for these fish discovered prior to the release of 5.4 will be marked as undiscovered. Information for these entries in the fishing log, including all previously caught fish, will display again after fishing at these locations. Interesting. The botanist and miner stuff. This is the new UI, by the way, for that, for botany and mining. Quite interesting, if you look at it. It's quite a lot to take in immediately. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Collectibles no longer have wear when gathering. The variance in collectability rating when an item is gathered has been removed. It says rarity has been changed to collectability. The gathering point's integrity as well as your remaining GP will now be displayed in the gathering window. Actions used to raise item collectability can now be executed directly from the gathering window. Very cool. The collector's glove status is no longer required to gather items as collectibles. Yep, we knew that one. Certain items that were only gathered to be used as collectibles can now only be gathered as collectible items. These items are denoted in the gathering log with a collectibles icon. The listing of items submitted to the House of Splendor as part of the collectibles exchange has been changed. It says items previously submitted to the House of Splendors can no longer be gathered as collectibles. Players who have gathered these items and still possess them in their inventories can submit them to the collectible dealer in Mordona. That UI looks pretty good, but it's a bit complex straight ahead. But yeah, it's got buttons on it that you can press rather than using them on your UI. Interesting. The required collectability rating for the second and third tier of custom delivery rewards for botanist and miner has been increased. It says the minimum collectability rating requirement for rewards has not been changed, however. Following additions and adjustments have been made to Ephemeral reduction. The location of ephemeral gathering points has been adjusted as well. They still appear in the same maps. The purity rating has been changed to collectability rating. Based on the item's collectability, up to 3 types of items can be obtained via Ephemeral reduction. Following this change, the quantity of items received has also been adjusted. Where high-quality item yields are available, yielded items will now always be high quality when Ephemeral reduction is performed on items with high collectability. The variety of items received, however, will not change. When reducing an item with a high collectability rating, there is a chance to receive an additional bonus to the number of items received, showing the bonus there on screen. Very cool. The following items used in crafting recipes can no longer be gathered as collectibles, so that's black soil, Highland oregano, fairy mint, clary sage, wind tea leaves, perlite and adamantine. In accordance with this change, the following collectible items have been added for use with Ephemeral reduction, which is humic soil, pot majorum, water mint, wild sage, countless tea leaves, countess, not countless, dacite and rhodolite. Brilliant. The following additions and adjustments have been made to ephemeral gathering points. Apparently, ephemeral gathering points, the number of them in an area at the same level range has been increased from 1 to 3. Elemental crystals are guaranteed to appear at these gathering points with a chance for clusters of the same element to also appear. There are new miner and botanist points in the world, new items at gathering points, and new fishing holes, as you would expect with a patch of this size. Ocean fishing, we've got new routes. We've got 2 new routes. One's at Hullbreaker Island, the other one is in the Dravanian hinterlands with the water. You can see Idleshy from it. New bonuses have been added. Missions have been added. Upon boarding the ship, players will receive 3 missions from the captain. To complete a mission, a player must catch the required number of designated fish, with a bonus point being added to a player's score at the end of the voyage, as we predicted. The demonstration here is catch jellyfish or crabs, 1 of 7. Catch fish rated 3-star or higher, 5 of those. Catch fish with a strong bite. 18 of them. That seems pretty simple, to be perfectly honest. Players who abandon ocean fishing prior to completion cannot embark on another voyage until registration reopens. However, players are not prohibited from registering for other duties. So that's good. And that stops people jumping boats at the start when they don't get a spectral. The requirement for bonuses received for catching 10 types of fish or more at a single destination will now be adjusted based on the number of participants. For example, a party of 8 or more players requires 10 types of fish or more. A party of 7 players requires 9 types of fish or more. And a party of 6 or fewer players requires 8 types of fish or more. In the event you do not experience spectral current weather at a fishing location, the chance of encountering a spectral current is increased at your next destination. Thank you very much for that, Square Enix. In the event a spectral current does not appear at a destination or a spectral current appears shortly before traveling to a new destination, the next spectral current to appear will have an increased duration. That's also very nice. Thank you very much for that. The number of fish caught using double hook when fishing for Silencer or Bartholomew the Chopper has been increased, so it's making it easier to get that stuff. I like those ocean fishing changes. They're really nice. Ocean fishing is one of my favorite pieces of content, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a bit dead at the moment, but we're going to get back in there as soon as the patch goes up. When advanced materia melding, players can now use multiple materia in a single attempt. You can tick a box. It can use, you can choose, stacks of it as well. Or, as they've said here, 143 will be used in succession. So if it fails to pentameld that slot, that fifth slot with 143, then it will use all 143 in one click. Very cool. And as it said, 105 materia were lost in the process as an example. That's if your luck is terrible. When accepting a commission for advanced materia melding in bulk, please note the melding fee is paid once only, regardless of the number of materia used in the process. So you can still do that with players. The level cap for Desynth is now 510 from 590. We've got lots of new mounts. They feature the Emerald Dragon from Emerald Weapon, Emerald Barding there, which looks, oh my god, that looks so good. I am so getting that. That's so nice. Very cool. I'm not sure about the helm, but I love the chest plate with the orb in the middle there. Very nice. New minions have been added. That one on the right definitely looks like it's from the fishing stuff, Grand Company stuff. On the left, that's definitely from Matoya's Relic. New fashion accessories. Yes, we're getting the wings. Very cool. I like this picture. This is a fashion accessory, much like the umbrellas. You can't use them in combat, but they are animated wings. They flap when you jump and sort of move around a bit, unlike the static wings we have on the angelic attire. But of course, they're fashion accessories, so don't expect to be able to use these in dungeons, sadly. We also have 2 new umbrellas here, new parasols. One is definitely a gold saucer one with a green handle and cactuars on it and red. Beautiful. And one's a polka dot one, pink. I want both of those. They're adorable. It says special actions used by mounts are now categorized as battle effects. Following this change, the display of these actions can be enabled or disabled via battle effect settings. So, some people were complaining about having epileptic seizures and other problems, which is why this change is in effect. Square Enix have acted accordingly with these changes. People were using the tank mount from the Dwarven Beast tribe and quite rightfully spamming the laser cannon. It looks amazing. But some people are being affected negatively by this, so at least you have the option to turn that off in character configuration. So thank you, Square Enix, for listening to that subset of the community, and hopefully this improves the quality of play for those people in particular. That's the least. We don't want people to have problems with the spell effect, so it's nice that's there. Yeah, it's sad that people were being affected that way in the first place, but it's nice to know that Square has got your back this time. We've got achievements and stuff. They've changed the requirements for the tankless job ones. Obviously, they've brought those up to date with the new dungeons and savages and things. Obviously, we've got Explorer mode where you can queue into this. And they show Ixion inside of a dungeon here in Katana Revel, I think that is. Yeah, you can ride mounts around in there, take pictures, test limit breaks. You know how we've talked about this numerous times before. There's the UI. Basically, in a duty finder settings, when you queue, you can tick Explorer mode. Explorer mode is available for Holminster Switch, Meg, Katana Revel, Malik as well, Mount Gorg, Amarot for Twinning, Academia Nida, Grand Cosmos, Amnesis Anida, Vahira's Gauntlet, and Matoya's Relic. There will be additional duties available in future updates, so hopefully they do this retroactively for the rest of the game. You can mount, you can summon minions, fashion accessories, so you can flap around with your wings, you can change jobs. Apart from Disciple of Land and Hand, sadly, you can summon striking dummies, you can practice limit breaks. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So there's some changes to Retainer Ventures. New Retainer Exploration Venture levels have been added. Quick Exploration. New items can be obtained. Retainers equipped with more powerful gear will receive items in greater quantities, with a greater chance of obtaining high-quality items. Following this change, the chance to obtain rare items based on gear has been removed. Certain items previously obtainable via Retainer Ventures have also been removed. So that's interesting. I don't know which ones. The amount of experience gained via Retainer Ventures is fixed depending on the retainer's level. The duties that can be recorded. So we can now use Duty Recorder on Puppet's Bunker and Seat of Sacrifice Extreme. No longer can you do Hades, Copied Factory, or Refulgence. Fair enough. And we got Classic Color Scheme. Yikes. This is under the Theme Settings menu, which is this box here just below the controller icon in your system config. You've got dark light. Light's pretty good. You know, I like the dark theme. Classic is blue. So if you like those old Final Fantasy games, there's Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the blue, have at it. Personally, I think it looks like you've dipped the Duty Finder in a big pot of ink, and that makes my eyes go a bit funny. But there we go. If you want that, go for it. You know, a bit of retro nostalgia for you. In preparation for the large-scale battle, Delibram Regine Savage, in addition of the 48-player alliances in 5.45, the following adjustments have been made. The appearance of the HUD in public areas after joining an alliance has been adjusted. So that's what that looks now. I don't like that. I quite like... Oh, the display of the alliance list will retain its original layout when undertaking duties. I was going to say healing that would be awful. But thankfully, that's just what's we're queuing. Okay, good. Ready check and record. Ready check windows will now display the number of people who have responded. That's cool. Important. When using the Party Finder to recruit for an alliance, it's now possible to set Omit as the role for all slots. Very cool. The following options have been made to Duty Finder settings. So there's Level Sync and Explorer mode. Level Sync says only available when the Undersized Party option is enabled. So you can actually level sync as well as Undersized Party separately. So they've split those apart now. That's mostly useful for Blue Mage and learning abilities, basically. Even having Level Sync, but an Undersized Party. Pretty useful. The full title of duties in a Duty Roulette and Daily Challenge categories have been abbreviated, so no longer do we have Duty Roulette, everything. We have Expert, Level 80 Dungeons. This is a nice change, to be honest. Nice and easier to read. As you can see here, look, on the tab. Way easier. We've also got these icons that are updated. This shows Adventurer in Need, so you get bonus rewards, obviously, for being one of those particular roles. So you don't have to click on them individually and see what's needed. Very nice quality of life. And I'm sure a lot of people will forget this even was ever added because it's so good. You can link to the Community Finder Lodestone page. Easy peasy, look, in the top right. You can also link quests in chat. We talked about this before. So if you're stuck on a quest, you can link it and other people can click it in any party, in party chat, say chat, FC chat, link shell chat. They can click on it and then it'll open a journal of their own talking about the quest and you can help them if they're struggling with something. Group pose, interesting. When accessing the character display settings tab, the default position of the cursor when pressing cancel using a gamepad has been adjusted, and the maximum and minimum values for roll angle settings has been adjusted. So it's before it was 0 to 200. Now it's 100 minus 180 to 180. Okay. We've got stickers, new stickers, as you can see here. We've got Fat Cats and comic style stickers. I actually really like the sticker theme. I like this, actually. The expressions, the flowers, the musical thingy. That's quite nice, actually. So new stickers. Pressing scroll lock to hide the UI will no longer hide your stickers. Very nice. I like that one a lot. The default alignment of character name, date, time, area name, and duty name stickers can now be set under the Edit tab. When viewing stickers in the Edit tab, a confirmation prompt will now appear after selecting Delete All from the subcommand menu. So you can confirm it before clicking it and ruining your life's work. To more easily identify place stickers when selected, they will now be highlighted when the mouse hovers over them. That's nice. A subcommand to copy stickers, preserving their current size and rotation, has been added. Wow, that's really nice. And the following keyboard and mouse controls can be used to move stickers on the screen. We've got strafe and strafe right for rotate left and right. Enlarge is zoom in and shrink is zoom out. That's really nice with the mouse wheels there. Checkbox to disable active help windows has been removed from the active help windows. Okay, nice checkbox. The search recipes using this material subcommand can be used on like pretty much every window now. They've made it so that you can, even on the market board, you can click on an item, right click on it and be like, what can I make with this item? It's really, really cool. I like that a lot. Lots of places you can use it. Crafting log, gathering log, market board, items, shop windows, you name it. Executing search for item subcommand. A warning message will be displayed when results may not correctly reflect your current inventory. Very cool. Very useful. The flying mount roulette has been removed from the action and traits menu and mount guide. Flying mounts will now also be called at random using mount roulette action. If this action is already registered to another hotbar and using text commands, it will continue to function normally. An option to scale high-resolution UI settings to 300% has been added under display settings in the system config menu. This is for Windows and Mac only. Following this addition, the minimum resolution supported by each setting has been adjusted. Depending on your settings, UI elements may overlap slightly under certain conditions. And then there's some text changes. We've got paint black, paint red. Here we go. Interesting. So these, yeah. So is there more emotes than we saw? Because we saw pink and blue. They've got paint black, paint red, paint yellow, paint blue, and fake smile. Oh my god. A lot of people already do that in real life to me, so I'm guessing having that's going to be fun. So these are the new emotes then. So there's not two. So we saw red and blue, but there's a yellow and a black one. Oh, I want to paint it black. Yes. Auto translation dictionary changes, autocomplete dictionary for PS4, new music sound effects, and sound effects played when initiating a countdown are now categorized as system sounds. So make sure you have those turned on. I'm excited for the emotes. Now I know there's more of them. The barding, all of that good stuff. The UI changes are fantastic, apart from choosing everything to be ink blue. Each to their own. Explorer mode's going to be fun. I'm going to use that a lot. The wings are all the hype, though. And I'm looking forward to the MSQ, the new trial. Just there's so much for me to cover, and you can guarantee that I'll be covering it in lots of videos. Anyway, hopefully this patch note reading, even though it was long, was fun for you. I know a lot of you like to listen to me once you're in your car or something. Perfect sort of listening environment. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know below what you are most hyped for from these patch notes, and I'll see you all next time.